Hey vinyl community, Steve here, FlipSideCT, and glad to see you, see me. Got a couple albums to show, and something from Record Store Day, a show, and online buys. About five albums. Anyway, so there is a kick-ass, sometimes use that word very loosely, rock and roll band that I want to share with you. The Dead String Brothers. This is their fourth album. I think they have five. This is from 2009. Sao Paulo. You can see the call girls here. I guess the Brazilian look, and walking away with it, John. This is one heck of an album from the Dead String Brothers. They're out of Detroit. And basically, stems, seeds, beer, guitars, flared jeans. They brought in the early 70s rock and roll. You call it blues, you call it rock, alt country, Americana, I don't care. It's just cool. They're being very highly compared to Stone's Exile. Sort of like Torn and Frayed, Loving Cup, and Pedal Steel's in there. Wonderful work. This is just such a fantastic album. Their other albums are very similar. Of course, Guy does sound similar to the Stones, Jagger. And to me, it doesn't matter. You know, if it's Chesterfield Kings, Chocolate Watch Band, you know, a few others. It's good rock and roll. It's good for me. So this is, and like I said, it's all together, and they really put it together well. In 2001 they formed. This is from 2009. You know, it does have that Stone swagger. It's on Bloodshot Records. That's it's a Chicago all country label, they joined them in 2005. You can check them online. They have some other cool bands. Bloodshot Records. So they channeled the 70s. You know, the cool rock and roll that I love, and it's really just truly great music for me. And I'm hoping you like it. If not, that's cool. But this is just good stuff.
Yes, got hands around the moon. Well, he loves everything she do. It all makes sense to everyone, but I still can't get through. She holds him close and life looks easy. I still can't make it through now. Oh, I still can't make it through now. No, I still can't make it through now.
So, I finished up my San Diego parts. I had like 4 parts there of my San Diego trip and all the stores that I went to. If you haven't seen that, check it out. I'm sure you got to find something of interest in there, especially if you're going out there to check a few things. I'm hearing now more. There's a few other stores I'll be going back out in August, so I think there's one or two that I got to go to. Anyway, I have my Portland tour to show you. I have a WFMU video to show. I have another Connecticut show. You know, so I'm behind. You know, I do these every 2 weeks. So it is what it is, and hopefully you enjoy it. So this next guy I found, and I know the band that he's originally from because the guitarist of the band does some if you look on YouTube and you know, for guitar licks and guitar lessons, he shows some guitar lessons that I really enjoy from the Drive-By Truckers. I forget the guy's name, but anyway, the album that I got is Jason Isbell, Southeastern. He was the singer for Drive-By Truckers 2001 to 2007, went solo, and this is one of his pieces. I think he has I don't know, 4 or 5 albums. This is his 4th one from 2013. Such, you know, again, here I'm going to say loosely here, but very true, a compact, tight, lyric, music arrangement, guitars, everything. A package that's really cool. You hear the Springsteen, the Dylan, the Neil Young influence here, and the storytelling is just great. So I just really have high praise for this guy. I look forward to hearing some more music. So he grew up in Alabama, and he actually has some publishing with the Muscle Shoals publishing there, and he moved to Nashville, and that's where he made this album. So 2013, I believe he married his wife. She was the his violin player, Amanda. Gosh, I wrote it down here. Shire, yeah. So he went through a lot of hard times. He was a Jack Daniels and cocaine, basically troubled youth while he was with the Drive-By Truckers, and really needed some intervention. And one of his buddies was Ryan Adams, who really parallel with him, and he opened for Ryan. So I believe they had an intervention and helped him get through his tough times, and got it together. And this is some work in a positive state. Lyrically, it's serious lyrics about some serious topics. You know, I'm not going to make it sound depressing, but it is some deep work here that he wrote about, and he just wrote from the heart. But it's things that he says you got to talk about and discuss.
Built by hands and built by slaves. From the sky we look so organized and brave. In the heat I saw you rising from the dirt, drunken tears and tugging at your skirt. This woman took the kids and you took Klonopin, enough to kill a man of twice his size. Not for me to understand. Remember him when he was still a proud man.
So, you know, Jason, his father worked in a tool and die shop, and this was the name of his shop, Southeastern. So I guess it's an ode to his dad. You know, so like I said, this touches a lot of serious topics, but brilliantly done. Jason Isbell. So I went to a show, and damn, I bought something, wasted a few dollars, pissed me off because this was not the Blade Runner album I wanted. This is an orchestration album of Blade Runner. Those of you who know about it, you know which one I wanted and which one I got. And I think the guy didn't know either what he had, and it was, I don't know how much it was, but anyway. Been talking, the VC's been talking a lot about country. Hank Williams, something you have to have for your collection. If you don't get it, they're usually not high priced, even if it's just a hits thing. Just get some Hank Williams, listen to some cool Americana, real country music. It's fun. So this next band I'm going to show you is a band I've been looking for, and it's Vic Goddard and FlipSideCT. Those of you who know some deep UK punk in the 70s, late 70s, whatever, late 70s, know the contributions FlipSideCT had. They used this name after there were some changes. Vic Goddard to me is just a wonderful voice. I'm not sure if he played. Yeah, he played guitar. But FlipSideCT was a band I've been wanting to get, and they only had singles. And Vic Goddard has solo albums, but I'll explain a little more. They were really an important piece to the punk puzzle in that 76 time frame. So basically, Vic was, with his three mates, were Pistols fans. And what happened was Malcolm, I guess, hooked up with Vic and these guys, and he said, wanted them to play. And he said, no, we don't really know how to much, but it's okay, just come, play. So the first gig was the 100 Club. And that was an important gig because it was a 2-day show of great bands and exposure. It really pushed, towards the end of the punk, beginning of post-punk. And they opened up, and this was the first time they played. The bands were just unbelievable. I can't even imagine what it must have been like. The folks there were Paul Weller, the Shane McGowan, the Pixies, Chrissy Hine, that whole Bromley crew, the Susie and Billy Idol and Marco, and just that, big pieces of the punk world. They played. So this show was really big because there was some excitement going on. Actually, when Susie and the Banshees started playing, Sid Vicious threw a glass. It shattered against a wall. Someone got blinded. Other people got hurt. Friggin' Sid, what a jerk off. Just, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I could just picture it. I have my love-hate relationship with that guy. But, again, I've expressed in the past. So anyway, Susie was really asked the people to please stay. They were leaving, but it wound up to be a cool gig and really important one. And like I said, it was a catalyst, this show, and this helped push them. And Bernie Rhodes, who's the manager for The Clash, wound up taking up Vic Goddard, or I should say the FlipSideCT, and that's where the singles came in. They eventually made an album in 1978. Don't know how, but it was lost. They did Peel sessions twice, 77, 78. So that was archived. So eventually Bernie Rhodes, so FlipSideCT went, important, they went on tour with The Clash in the 77 with the, the White Riot tour. And pretty heavy. I can't even imagine what that must have been like. So, they got some really good exposure.
to debris. Me and my shadow, it leads like a star flitting. Star flitting. Won't you take tea with me? Knock me around all over the place and then leave. I once found a place near your truth. You see parallel and now we've got no belief in your truth, no belief in you. Refused it all except give up. Or is it really as you said all luck? Or did the newspaper make me?
As I mentioned, they released a couple singles, and like I said, the '78 album was lost, and they did the Peel sessions. Bernie Rhodes wanted or told Vic to get rid of the other members, and let's call it Vic Goddard at the Subway Sect, and he got a new band. And Vic started getting into swing, pop, rockabilly, soul, northern soul music, and he started going in that direction, and really still a good sound. So this album covers his time frame, 77 to 81, and some of it has that from the punk side, the Peel sessions, to some of this northern soul, this funky little sounds. And one real cool song is that they do is Head Held High from the Velvet Underground, Peel Session 77. I urge you to give Vic Goddard a listen, especially his solo work. He's got 2 albums I'm going to try and possibly get, and give this a listen too. You might like it. You should like it. Who knows? Whatever. Record store day. So I didn't want to lose out, and I did last one time with Bowie, and Cracked Actor was an album I want. Basically Mick Ronson. So I did splurge and picked up Welcome to the Blackout, the London '78 tour. And I'm sure most of you already know about this album. Stage is a similar time period. Lengths of songs are different. There's more songs on here. The audience is less on stage, a little more here. And it's, I had some doubt. Basically, the Adrian Belew guitar work, I could give and take sometimes. I just don't like with the whammy bar, all that type of sound. But when I start hearing Bowie's voice, it just takes over and just says, what the hell? I love it. So, and of course, Carlos, is on this. So, really cool songs on here. Cracked Actor, I believe, is coming out on a reissue. This is coming out on a CD, and it'll probably be a reissue anyway. But this is cool, this tour. Thank you, everyone. Cool to have you watch and comment and whatever. I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.
Dream, one I'd never seen till you came along. So come